Hello and welcome to the Forby Alpha Tester demonstration. I'm Dr. Sam Scheikowitz. I'm the founder of Forby, and today I'm both your tour guide and hopefully your guinea pig. So first off, thank you so much for watching this, and let me say, if you've ever waited for years for something to come to life, you know exactly how I feel right now. And I know many of you have been thinking, is this guy ever going to get it together? Well, here it is, and I'm thrilled to finally share Forby with you. Today we're diving into how to set up a community, create a vote, and explore features like subpolls, links, and files. And stick around, at the end I'll add some tantalizing hints about Forby's future. Just think big social impact, disrupting social media, and possibly some investment potential. So grab the beverage of your choice, coffee, tea, kombucha, whatever, and let's just dive right in. Okay, so creating an account is fairly straightforward. We go to forby.io. It's like forby.io, for the people, by the people, but that sounds a little bit like a construction material, so we call it Forby, which sounds a little bit more like a cute toy. Okay, and click Getting Started at the top, which takes us to app.forby.io, where we can sign up. We'll need to give ourselves a unique handle like Twitter. In fact, you can reuse your Twitter handle, but maybe rethink that old XX Dragon Slayer XX username. We get an email with a link to confirm and our address, and that's where we create the password and log in. When we do, we're logged into Forby, and boom, baby, we're in business, and we can go to the profile page and add images, change our profile, etc. Now to the communities page. This is where the magic happens, where you can join or create communities. Now automatically you'll find yourself in the Forby Improvement Committee. This is the digital equivalent of a suggestion box with a little bit higher tech. And I've set up a few decidables in there, a poll for listing bugs, and a vote for new feature suggestions. Check out what's been added, and if your great idea is missing, please add it. I need all the brains I have and all I can borrow. You'll also see hub groups in there, which sound fancy, but it's basically a way to connect you with your neighborhood, your watershed, your bioregion, even the entire planet if you're feeling ambitious and thinking about world domination. I've added the first hub group there, the Humans of Planet Earth, HOPE for short. There's a decidable about the meta crisis in there, but more importantly, one about getting a better splash image than the AI generated masterpiece that I threw in there at 3 a.m. So these hub groups are how we intend to both compete with social media while secretly starting to introduce the potential for transparent cooperative governance at every scale. Shh, don't tell the CIA. Okay, let's create a private community for this demo. I'll call it Better Together, because nothing says collaboration like a feel-good sitcom title. And I'm hoping that whatever group you create here will serve you well and bring you a new level of collaboration for your community. And I also hope that you have a better name. Okay, so we can add a short description, and you can add a longer one if you're feeling chatty. Okay, now we get to the approval settings. So quorum is the minimum number of community members that need to vote for a decision to be valid. So I'll set it to 80% for this demonstration. Small communities can have large numbers, even 100%, if the members are usually all fully engaged. Approval minimum is the percentage of those votes that need to be in favor for an option to pass. Again, smaller groups can have higher numbers, even 100%, but 100% means consensus, which can make it really hard to do anything in larger groups. So for this demonstration, I'll just choose 75%. And the vote finalization period is the time window after voting ends before the results are locked in. And I'll set that to 14 days. It can be a wide range. Community access, hidden, discoverable, or open, and doesn't matter much for this. You can always edit these later. I'll click Create, and congratulations, our new community is ready. So we can add some images right here and edit the community profile or the settings right from the main page. We can also invite members here. So we add members by typing in a name, a part of a name or an email address, and then you have to press enter to search for that name or email address. When names or an email address appear in the pop-up, you click on them and that will add them to the invite list. And then when we send the invites, emails are sent. If they have a Forby account, the link will take them to this community. If not, the link makes it easy for them to join. So in Forby, each community has its own main community chat. So this is for general discussions. In smaller groups, it's sort of like a cozy WhatsApp chat, complete hopefully with random GIFs and cat memes. But if membership grows to hundreds of participants, it scales up to a Twitter-style chat minus the flame wars, hopefully. And in that mode, you can personalize who and what you see, and that prevents the overload of too many messages. You can create your own algorithm. So when you're in here, pro tip, just use the reply icon on the bottom left when you're responding, and that keeps the chat in more organized. Keeps it turning into a plate of spaghetti, basically, like so many groups can be. And it will also allow the Twitter-like spotlight feature to track the thread and show you the conversation more clearly. Okay, so we'll start. Just add a little bit of chat here just so you can kind of see how it works. And just chatting with my co-founder here, my Chief Technical Officer. So you can see that it's basically kind of like WhatsApp here. You can respond and you reply and quote other texts, and we'll have some more features, including a really advanced liking system, which has more options, and the spotlight and a few other, the Twitter-like algorithm and that. We're also going to build out the topic system soon. It's similar to channels in Slack or Discord. And so this actually should allow us to provide better discussion systems than either of these platforms. And within each community, we can also create decidables. We have a couple planned. We have opinion polls, which is just simple ways to gather opinions. Decision votes, it's more detailed way of making important decisions. Elections are the way for the community to choose people, and that for any situation, including hiring or choosing volunteers or task assignments. And then we have the proposal challenge, which is a more comprehensive system, and it uses our granular proposal system where the proposal is small, sort of like a Twitter post, and the details of who, what, when, where, why, how much, all of that type of thing is worked out by the community as a set of sub-agreements within each proposal. And the elections and proposal challenges are being built soon, so we'll demonstrate the vote today. So let's create a vote to decide on our group's top priority. Just picture if Kickstarter and local government had a baby. It's slightly terrifying, but very functional. So click add and click vote. We give it a topic, and again, we can add some description and longer text. And here we can decide how the vote will end. So clicking on the vote finalization starts the time period set in the community creation when an option passes quorum and approval. If the members are then notified and encouraged to make sure they're happy with their vote. So if the option stays above quorum and approval for the entire vote finalization period, it's declared a winner and the vote closes. If an end date will end the poll even if no winner is selected. And you can have both. And selecting none means that it's an ongoing poll. It just keeps going till the community is collectively bored or ready to move on with the archive button. So we can allow the members to add their own options, or if you want to have only a few curated ideas, you can do that. We can decide if we want a set number of winners, like 1 or 5, and if not, all the options that pass quorum and approval will be considered winners. And here we decide on the rating system. We are going to do, the default is the ARCH method, which measures the strength of approval and disapproval. So the other scales here are simple yes, no, neutral, 0 to 5 stars for rating the quality or satisfaction level. We have a percentage if you need it. And then allocation, which can be used for resources like money or time, and this can be done for use for participatory budgeting. We also have a count to see if someone has read something or to ask for volunteers. And then consensus, which allows members to approve, abstain, or block the options. If you think of a new scale, we'll figure out how to do it. Just let us know. So we can create options during the creation process or add them later. I'll add one for now, and then I'll add some more later. Okay, and once we've chosen the options, we can review it, and once we click Create, Forby sets up the vote. And we see a few things. The options are front and center with the orange vote button waiting like a puppy at the front door. The icons at the bottom left are the ranking of the option and the total number of options. Then the middle one is the approval level and the community approval minimum. And then the last one is the quorum and the community quorum minimum. So you can see how each option ranks. Forby has generated a dedicated vote chat, and here we can talk about deadlines, budgets, or any random vote-specific commentary. And up on the top right, there's a scrollable menu here with additional objects. You can see more features. On small screens, you might have to click and drag or swipe on a mobile. But here we can see results, aspects, which we will discuss in a few minutes, the polls and link files. So this means we can have subcomponents within the vote. It allows really for a better structure. It keeps the deliberation context specific and easier to follow. And we're looking for the perfect placement of subcomponents and chats and that. So if you have any ideas about how it could be better, please let me know. So let's go ahead and ask a question within this vote. Imagine you want to propose something like, let's budget 1,000 for the winter. In the government and in the DAO space, you see these sort of naked proposals, often filled with riders, unnecessary legalese language, that kind of thing. In Forby, you have to think a little bit to turn your proposal into a question, into a problem or opportunity before you can propose a solution. This gives others the opportunity to ask the question or answer the question in sometimes creative or unexpected ways. So I'll create a poll to ask a question relative to the vote. And then I'll click on the poll and add an option. We can spend up to 1,000. Now I could leave it at this because people can upvote or downvote this option directly. Or we could add another option like no budget. It sounds a bit harsh, but hey, did I hear somebody say socially liberal, fiscally conservative? Anyway, the poll has its own chat too. You can see how this poll fits into the structure with the vertical breadcrumbs on the top left. Okay, so let's attach links and files to the vote. So using the vertical breadcrumbs menu, we can scroll back to the vote and the link file poll up on the top right. Attaching and rating resources is super important to sense making. And here we can add links and files relative to the entire vote, like a budget spreadsheet or a strategic plan. Okay, and our group can now rate how important or reliable they feel about each document. Sort of like Yelp, but instead of rating tacos, we're rating spreadsheets. Hey, that's democracy for you. Anyway, in our group, we can now add some options. So inside the vote. So these are the actual initiatives that we're going to decide on. So I've already added one when I made the vote, and now I'll add a few more. Okay, we could add some images and more details, but I'll skip that for now. So now I want to talk a bit about the voting itself. So here we can see all three options. Also important to mention, there are two types of vote buttons. There's this sort of blue, gray, green button. And that's found on Decidables themselves, not on the options. And it's actually a prioritize button. So it means that we're telling the community how important we think this decidable, this question is, compared to the other decidable questions around it. The bright orange vote button found on options is actually the one where we tell the community how we feel about that option, and we rank options. So I'll prioritize the decidable here, saying I think this is an important question, and then I'll vote on each option. Also, if you're wondering, yes, within our continuous voting system, you can change your vote at any time. Basically, politics for commitment votes. No judgment here. Actually, better to think of it as more like gauging resonance. And so giving your early impression on an option is actually helpful for sense making, as long as you put a bit of thought into it. So I encourage you to vote early and vote often. Now, when we created the voting system, when we created this vote, we chose the +5 to -5 rating to express which ideas we would bring home to mother, the ones we may give a second date if they buy the drinks, and the ones that are as appealing as a root canal. Okay, so when we vote on an option, we can also add the reason for the score we've given it. This is optional, but hey, at least it's entertaining. So I'll add one now. And now when we click on the option, we can see all the reasons that have been added. And we could add additional reasons separate from the voting. This time I'll add one more. This time I'll make it against. And now these reasons can be prioritized by the community, again, sort of like Yelp for brainstorming instead of muffler repair. So now we can see how strongly each reason resonates with the community. And you can even change your vote right here, looking at these reasons, if any of these reasons are compelling enough. So options can have subcomponents too, just like the vote. And so I'm going to add a poll within the community composting pilot. Let's add one here. And then I can click on the poll and start to add options. Now the members, they vote on and comment on how they feel about these options. Okay, so if we have specific resources that are specific to this option, we can add them in the options link file poll. So I'll add a few now. So members can upvote or downvote these reasons based on, the usefulness or validity or however they feel, and they can add comments in the option chat if there's some problem with the document or anything like that. The last feature we'll see is the aspect poll, which helps compare options based on specific criteria. So it's found at the top level, and so we'll go ahead and I'll add 3 now. Okay, and now we click into each aspect and rate each option according to that criteria to see how they stack up in the opinion of the community. So it's basically like a side-by-side for metrics that matter to the community. So when the voting ends, the result is captured in a snapshot. So the decidable, including the chats and the polls, the reasons and files, everything, it remains open for further deliberation and easy access if you want to visit it, revisit it 5 months later and wonder who suggested that worm bin in the first place. And as new data emerges, the revote process can be used to schedule a new snapshot if the community feels that that's important. So that's the core of Forby in practice. And you can see how each part fits together. You have signing up, creating a community, inviting members. You can create a decidable like a vote or a poll, and more to come there. You see the sub polls, the link file polls, options, each with their own reasons poll. You have aspect polls to compare options by criteria. And then we have the arch voting method for more nuanced feedback, chats at every level for clarity and context. And it's all organized, Forby organizes it, and you can see all the options proposed and prioritized by the members, the most persuasive reasons for and against each option, which option members ranked highest on aspects like feasibility, engagement, impact, on any criteria that are important, and the most credible documents and all that chat activity neatly organized. No more scattered text, Discord, or Slack threads, lost email attachments. Forby keeps the process transparent, organized, easily accessible, and easy to change if new data emerges. So thank you so much for inviting your community to experiment with these features. If you have any questions or run into bugs, please reach out to me directly. You'll automatically have access to the Forby Improvement Committee, as I mentioned, where you can try out Forby's features and submit feedback, see what others suggest. As an alpha tester, though, you'll also have direct access to me personally whenever I'm not sleeping, eating, or changing diapers, probably 15 minutes a day, so use them wisely. But seriously, actually, I'm reachable on WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, SMS, email, phone, Signal, Telegram, Skype, flare guns, smoke signals. You get the idea. Your feedback is so invaluable to me. I'll be as available as possible to discuss your experiences and suggestions. So, as you may have gathered, Forby isn't just a project management or voting tool. It's our attempt to massively upgrade how people coordinate, whether we're talking about the next family reunion or a global initiative. So we believe Forby can spark real positive social impact by facilitating structured collaboration. Hopefully, communities can engage in more meaningfully, bridge differences, and actually get stuff done in real life. So we also see a huge potential for disrupting social media. Now, typical social networks feed on invasive data mining and AI-driven algorithms, shady, borderline addictive stuff promoting polarization, shallow engagement. And while Forby can certainly be used to share cat videos, our primary design is about constructive dialogue and collaboration, free from ads, 100% free from data mining. Our public hub groups will remain free to encourage adoption, experimentation, even maybe population level governance, direct governance. The private groups are free as well, including everyone you invite. Eventually, we plan to offer a very low cost subscription for those who see the value in being part of multiple private groups. So we're counting on Forby's usefulness to drive demand rather than invasive ad practices. And all of this points to tremendous growth potential and a real investing opportunity at this early stage. And we are open to early investment and friends and family to help bootstrap continued development. So Forby can scale from local communities to international organizations. It features a unique collaborative Decidables layer that tools like Slack and Teams just don't have. And so for investors, this means Forby is a great bet and one where your investment can have far-reaching impact. And we have a unique governance structure, the corporate governance community that uses Forby to support decision making. Basically, we're eating our own dog food, so to speak. Yeah. So if you're curious, just email me. You can support the development on Patreon too. The link is at the bottom of the website. Ultimately, Forby's success depends on communities like yours using these features to solve real problems. And that's how we build momentum to revolutionize the decision-making process on a massive scale. Thank you so much for walking through Forby with me today. Remember, your role as an alpha tester is vital. I'm relying on your experiences, your bug reports, and your success stories to shape Forby's future. And if you have any questions, please reach out on any channel, drop a note in the Forby Improvement Committee. Let's make collaboration and decision-making better together. And I can't wait to see the brilliant, maybe if we're lucky, bizarre, definitely creative ways that you'll use Forby. Thank you.